Would you check out what I found on the side of the road?
What's going on, YouTube family? It's Andrea here at VW Family Farm. Today is supposed to be, and I say supposed to be loosely, the epic gardening day for us for 2019. But things did not go according to plan this morning. So I woke up at like 5 o'clock this morning dreaming about gardening. I've been waiting on this day all week to get the garden in. I was going to plant all 3 gardens. If you're new to our channel, we have about 21,000 square feet of garden. I was going to try to put the majority of it in today. Of course, I have the 2 teenagers to help me, Lane and Emily, of course. So I woke up dreaming about gardening. The kids and I got around, had our coffee, had our breakfast, all that. I had coffee. Lane took off to the back of the field. As you know, part of his job is every morning to move the cows, the rotational grazing. So he goes and moves them, drags their water and all that. Usually Emily and I take off walking and we meet him back there as he's working, just in case anything goes wrong and he needs us. We come back there. Most of the time he doesn't need us and we just walk back. That's our daily exercise. We're getting our exercise, he's getting his, and then we're done for the day. We walk back to the house, he drives, we feed the animals, we're good to go. And usually I've already milked cows by that time and we've got a lot of our daily chores done. Then they'll start and do their schoolwork and I'll work on other things that need doing, like gardening, cooking jobs, things like that that need doing. So here's the deal. In rotational grazing, a lot of times it's like a huge, say, rectangular shaped field. They'll move down one side and then come back the other to where they started. You want to keep them off certain, like one paddock for like 40 days. So we have 40 different pens back there. Well, this is their first rodeo. Literally, they've only made it to the end of where they're going to turn around and come back the first time ever. They didn't come from a rotational grazing setup. We've never done it. We're new to it. So they're at the back of the field. They needed to turn. They've always been moved south. And we were asking them to go east to start coming back up.
They don't know their directions.
They didn't know that. And they didn't know where to go. They didn't want to go where we wanted them to. We learned something. We learned have your next day's paddock set up, which we always have. But not today because they were at the end of the line. We were just going to shift them over. Wrong. They shifted north. So they went backwards. Lane got them back in by himself. Emily and I showed up. We worked. All the mama cows took off once we got back there and got it set up. So once we got a little alleyway set up, we got the majority of the cows to shift to the east, but about 40 calves stayed back. And we could not get them to move. We worked for between 4 and 5 hours to get all the cows and all the calves moved to the new paddock, get fences shifted around and all that. We are dead tired. We came home, ate a bite. It was like 2 o'clock at that time. So needless to say, the epic gardening day turned into an epic fail, but that's okay. As you can see, Ben's come home now. We're still gonna work on it some. We're gonna try to get, we have 3 different gardens. We're still gonna try to get one of them in today. And I'm sorry about the wind. I hope you can hear me. It's windy here. So we're gonna try, like I said, to get one of the gardens in today. Some tomatoes, some beans, things like that. We've got some of it planted in early stuff. So we're just gonna try to complete that one. Maybe we'll work on the others, I don't know. We're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna settle down and let you watch, but where we're gonna plant the tomatoes, we're trying something. It's a fabric that they use for billboard material. We're gonna put that down, plant some tomatoes in it and put cages on top of it, and then we'll have a watering system laying along the ground to water the roots of the tomatoes. We're also gonna plant more tomatoes in our back garden, probably a different day because we've got some really small tomato plants still. So they need to grow another week or so. We are going to not cage those. We've always caged tomatoes. We're gonna plant those and kind of trellis them, put them, clip them to cattle panels. Sorry, I went blank for a second. Scatter those out, and we're gonna raise those up. I was noticing at Jess's house the other day, her cattle panels are raised up like a foot off the ground. That's a really good idea because tomatoes and peppers are there so long, they get so grassy underneath. That'll allow me to still get in there with the hoe, get that grass out. So I'm gonna get busy. I'm gonna turn y'all around, let y'all watch, and thanks for hanging with us because nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? And before we begin, here is our hardest working employee.
So tired.
How do you feel?
Tired.
Really tired?
We're out.
You didn't know 126 cows could be that tiring, did you?
I wanted to get off and run them, but she was scared I was going to get run over.
Well, you're my baby. My big baby.
Hey.
Okay, so this is garden number 1. This is out front by the road. It's not our original garden. It's actually garden number 2 as far as what we put in. Our number 1 original garden's in the backyard. Haven't really done anything to it this year. If you've been around a while, you saw that we amended it in the spring with composted cow manure, but we were leery that it hadn't composted enough. Wound up going back and scraping it all off, telling y'all we'd messed up, eating crow. So it's kind of been just sitting. Still need to get it worked up. But we're working today in between rains, just getting this one planted. You can see this long first row is early stuff. It's like lettuces, all different types of beautiful lettuces. That's Chinese cabbage, which I really like. I've made kimchi before. We just really like to eat it. Broccolis and cauliflowers, and I'll take you down there and show you my different varieties of sugar snaps from Baker Creek. I got some of the magnolia tendril peas and sugar magnolias and a couple different varieties. And then these next 2 rows, you can see those are Yukon Gold potatoes. I wound up getting a really good stand. I told y'all we planted the ones that were ours that we harvested in the fall that had sprouted. They came right up. People had told us you can't do that, but those actually are the ones we have the best outcome from. They almost all, that little sprout that it puts off, I just plant the whole potato and put an inch or so of that sprout coming out of the ground, even if I have to lay that sprout sideways, if that makes sense, laying it horizontal in the row where just about an inch comes out of the ground. They do awesome. You can see how big they are, and we'll walk on down here. The ones I planted from seed potatoes this year were not sprouted. They didn't have very big eyes on them at all, so I was really leery. And we've never cut ours and laid them to cure, but I'm seeing on YouTube a lot of you do that, so that's interesting to me. We might start doing that. So I was leery. I thought this is probably gonna be the year. I didn't cure them. They didn't have very big sprouts. They're not gonna come up. They did. I'm gonna take you down there and show you, but they're just small, but that doesn't matter. I can have several different stages of potatoes. That's fine with me. So here's the peas, and I have me a cattle panel trellis. It's not arched. The kids and I just put it up just like this. This is how for years we have done for several years now, done our cucumbers, because we got sick of digging around to find cucumbers on the ground and having snakes in the vines and stuff like that. So we started doing cucumbers like this before we ever saw YouTube or knew anything about trellises or anything. Ben just kind of came up with it one day. Works awesome. So I don't know why we didn't think to do other things like that, but thanks to YouTube and Jess and different people, I'm trellising all kinds of stuff this year. So you can see down here we're getting into, these are the smaller potatoes, a lot smaller than the ones up the row, but like here's a small one, but they're really strong. You can see me and Emily and the boys have been working on getting this ground cover down. We're going to plant a whole row of tomatoes and peppers here. Then we're going to plant a whole row in the back garden with the trellises. So this row's a little grassy, but this is the other side of the front garden. You can see the beautiful onions. Ben sprouted those from Baker Creek seed. That was quite an accomplishment because sprouting onions from seed and getting them to grow into a nice onion is no small feat. It's kind of like carrots. If you get a successful harvest from seed of onions, you got something to brag about because it's not foolproof. And you might get them up and think you're gonna have onions, and then you overwater and they'll get a fungus real easy. They're just not real easy to do. But we learned a lot of tips from Baker Creek, and we've got a really healthy crop of onions. Got some, obviously I've got some grass. I've got to do some weeding, but I've got some bok choy, and I've got purple bok choy. Baker Creek had this stuff everywhere, and I'm so excited to grow it. It needs to be thinned a little bit, but I might just harvest some of it for small greens, microgreens or something. Okay, this stuff I'm pretty stinking excited about. You can see the green. It's interesting looking to me. And here's the red. This is called Mizuna. This was everywhere when we went to Baker Creek. In fact, they told us it's their favorite green to eat in salads, even more than lettuce. So, and that came from Jer himself. So I'm really excited to try that. I've also got some Swiss chard coming up that I started from seed, just in the ground, direct sow. Excited about that because I love Swiss chard in salads. So this garden out here is coming along. Still got quite a bit to do and 2 more gardens to plant, but that's okay. My plan was to do it all today, but plans change, and I'm learning the older I get to go with the flow. Don't be so stressed and such a stickler to the plan, because plans get interrupted. That's life. Have a plan, but when you have to be flexible, go with it. So I'm gonna put y'all down and we'll see how far we get today. Hey Ben.
Hi Andrea.
What do you want to talk about?
I want to go inside and drink coffee.
Yeah, me too.
And sit down.
Yeah. Okay, not happening.
Why not?
What's in your hand? A
I've been
hammer?
putting
Okay, in the other hand.
a drill.
Tell them about it.
It's a DeWalt
Ben,
20 volt
tell
max.
them what you're doing.
We're being sponsored by DeWalt.
We
Not.
wish. We wish we'd given DeWalt a bunch of money.
Oh, you want me to tell them what I'm doing with the drill?
Yes, I'd like you to.
Oh, okay. Y'all know last time on the strawberries, we took a torch and heated a piece of pipe, burn all the holes. One of our viewers suggested, hey, why don't you take a hole saw and cut them? Well, I thought, at the time, a hole saw, that's just gonna grip it and twist it all up. Then I got to thinking back when I built my aquaponics system, I used a hole saw, but turned it backwards,
So
where it
it's
wasn't
not eating into it?
right. So these teeth right here don't grab it, so now we're going backwards,
More gentle cutting.
and it works. Watch this. The guy that suggested doing this name is Dave Northwater, and I'm gonna tell you a big thank you because it does work. I done tested
Do
it.
the big thank you.
Thank you.
That was small.
Thank you.
That was big. Let's look at this outfit.
You're getting my gardening
I wear
attire.
a shirt.
Hey, I got shoes on today instead of flip-flops.
Nothing matches, but that is okay. I love you. Love you.
If y'all had to wear what I had to wear for work, y'all would shed it as soon as you get home too.
If you know what FR clothes are, you know what he's talking about.
Looky there. St. Pierre's, Abu Rawan, Oxart, Osmos, Purple Russian, Amish.
I want to use all of his pages for
Would you check out what I found on the side of the road? Look at that. Can you guess what that is? Can you guess what I found for free? 93. This is a bunch of garlic. I found this probably 5 years ago. Hadn't been back in the area since then. I dug some up then and it worked. I dug it up, and yeah, this is springtime. I know you're not supposed to dig it up right now, but I dug this up because I'm not in that area very often. It's on the side of a county road, and I got a bunch of free garlic. Let's go see how much I got. All right, now I know that probably 75–80% of the time, well, now let's probably go a little higher. 90–95% of the time I come home with junk, Andrea's just like, ugh. I bring home everything. I'm a hoarder. If it's free and I can make something out of it, oh, I love it. Well, this right here, she's gonna be excited. Look at that root, wad, and bulb mass of garlic. I've got to get busy. It is fixing to come a rain. She'll probably throw this on another vlog, probably of her garden. But I was so excited. I popped them up, still got a bunch of root mass on a lot of them, so I'm gonna throw them in the ground here real quick. All right, I'm gonna throw this in here with a bunch. I don't know if y'all can see all that, but that's our garlic we planted earlier. Trying to dig out some of this grass because we hadn't weeded it in a while. Hey, I think I'm gonna go get the garden rake that I made for Andrea on that blacksmithing video. I'll be right back. Okay, I could not find that. I'm in a big hurry, it's starting to get dark. But I did find this little doodad. I bought that for Andrea the other day. I seen Jareth on Reap What You Sow using it. And I'd seen them before, but I'd never seen anybody use one. This little dude works pretty good. Alright, got that. Let's see how many of these we can get planted before it gets dark. Really curious on how many I come up with. Alright, I gotta stop the video. It's gonna get wet.
What are you fixing to tell me? I'm worried.
Guess I need your facial expression.
I'm scared.
Not just because you're on camera. I found something in the road ditch and I brought it home.
Is it a washing machine?
No.
No? Is it a puppy?
What do I normally bring home? It's free.
Garlic?
Yeah.
Is it garlic?
Yeah. Alright, thanks for watching. And until next time, God bless.